Not everything in Delaware is as durable as its cave. Meet Gambrinus. For nearly 100 years, this 11-foot-tall zinc statue stood outside the Diamond State Brewing Company in Wilmington. Today, it sits in pieces in this basement in Bear. So who was this fictitious beer god, and what's the story behind his fall?
The statue was an icon of brewing, and it was a tradition that was carried over from European breweries. The brewery was at 5th and Adams, was the highest point of the old city, and the statue was up on one of the highest buildings at the highest point. So it's something that could be seen from all over the city.
From 1882 until 1962, Gambrinus stood watch over Wilmington.
You gotta like a guy who's got a sword in one hand and a beer in the other.
The Gambrinus statue was based on French nobleman John I, the Count of Flanders.
Big fella, kind of like me, beard, stein in hand. If there is a perfect portrait of a beer-drinking man, it was John I, the Count of Flanders.
The brewery was torn down to make way for I-95, which now runs over the 5th and Adams Street intersection Gambrinus once called home. After a brief stint outside another restaurant on Naaman's Road, Gambrinus was dropped while being moved and broke into more than 60 pieces. Those pieces were thought to be lost or sold for scrap until a twist of fate.
I began doing research for a book that I recently wrote on the history of brewing in Delaware and came across the pieces of Gambrinus. The former owner had since passed and the estate bequeathed the statue to me.
John hopes to restore Gambrinus to his original glory, then donate him to a local museum. Restoring a nearly 150-year-old statue isn't cheap, though.
It's going to take a lot of money. We've been quoted estimates of about $100,000 to get the statue restored.
And that's a whole lot of beers, but what a wonderful project.